Precious Gift, a Love Story. Continued from Part 3. Monday. Wasim was a little scared inside in the evening. He clenched his fists and mustered up the courage to face his fear. He went to Amira's house. He prepared a speech on what he would say to Amira to ask for her hand. His heart was beating as if he had just run a marathon. He stood by the door for a few seconds and cleared his throat. He prayed, "May Allah give me the courage to face it." He knocked on the door and Amira's heart started pounding inside. Mother opened the door. "Assalamu alaikum, Uncle Farooq," Wasim said with a formal smile. "Alaikum assalam, yes, come in." Ammi opened the door to welcome him. "Assalamu alaikum, uncle," Wasim showed his politeness. "Walaikum assalam," Abu smiled at her and asked her to sit down. "I know you, you are Abdullah Mia's son, aren't you?" Wasim. He narrowed his eyes to remember. "Yes, uncle, you guessed it," Wasim smiled nervously. "You and Amira studied together when you were little, didn't you?" He told me about his memories. "Yes, uncle. Actually, we are still in the same class in college," Wasim said with a smile. Inside the room, Amira was keenly listening to every word of their conversation. He was in another room, but his ear was in the hall. Wasim was about to speak when his lips moved and Ammi brought a glass of water. "Water." She gave a formal smile. He smiled softly and grabbed the glass and nervously drank it all. Farooq's uncle smiled at him and Wasim was about to have a serious conversation with him. "Surely important work has brought you here." Farooq's uncle spoke in a polite voice. "Yes, uncle," he said and looked around the hall as if he was looking for something. He thought, Amira must be listening there. Farooq Chacha and Ammi looked at him with strange eyes. "If you are here for your college stuff and you want to ask Amira, I can call her." Farooq's uncle called her. "No, no, uncle. I came to talk to you. Something very important." He saw the expression on Farooq's uncle's face. "Important thing?" A questioning look spread across his face. "Yes, uncle." "Don't know, uncle, how to say. But." He trailed off. "Please, son," Farooq's uncle encouraged. "Uncle, do I?" She cleared her throat. You know, uncle, we used to study and play together since childhood." There is seriousness on Farooq's uncle's face. "Uncle, we both really." Her trembling hands started breaking out in a cold sweat. "We both really love each other." And she turned to see Ammi's expression. "And I have come to ask you for her hand." A room full of silence. Uncle Farooq took a deep breath and broke the silence. "And Amira? Does he love you?" Amira could not stay in her room when Abu's words reached her ears. She opened the door and came out to answer. "Yes, Daddy, I love her too," she finally said in her low voice. Both mother and father just kept looking at him without closing their eyes. Amira finally confesses her love to her parents. Both just stared at him, but could not say a word. "You two love each other. Before I give you her hand, I want to ask one important thing." "Yes, uncle," she said. "Did you come here with everything to find out?" The main question was asked by Farooq's uncle. "Sorry, I don't understand what you mean by out." He made a questioning face. "I mean, you told your father everything? Does your father know everything about you and him? Have you told him yet?" Farooq Chacha asked seriously. "Uncle, I will persuade her. Leave it to me," she assured him. "If he doesn't say?" Farooq's uncle asked. Uncle, I love her. If she refuses, I will marry her. I will never leave her, she said with determination. Inshallah, I will go to your Abu and ask him about your marriage. Then I will think more. He ended the conversation there. Yes, uncle. Khuda Hafiz, he smiled politely towards mom and dad. Tuesday. Farooq's uncle is ready to propose marriage to Amira. Abdullah was nervous when he went to Mia's house. Farooq's uncle stood near a huge door. A security guard opened the door and his eyes widened as he saw the huge luxurious bungalow with cars and servants. He suppressed his thoughts to overcome the rising panic. He entered the hall. Abdullah Mia was taking a leisurely rest on the sofa. Sahib Khan. Farooq Khan, welcome. He raised his hand with a warm smile. The two hugged each other and exchanged greetings. Sit. He offered his courtesy. Farooq's uncle sat down on the comfortable sofa. His heart was still racing. How are you? How's business going? He took out a toothpick from a box to clean the tooth gap. I'm fine, Alhamdulillah. Farooq's uncle said with a faint smile, by the grace of God everything is going well. Yes, of course, nothing but God's blessings. He smiled and stroked his red-black beard. Uncle Farooq just nodded. His mind was struggling with how to figure out what was important. Abdullah Mia touched his beard and said, Yesterday Wasim told me that he is at your house. Leaving the sentence incomplete. Yeah, for Amira's hand. That's why I'm here. You know, to clear our doubts. He smiled. Yeah, sure. He put the toothpick aside. Both love each other, and they have known each other since childhood. Said Farooq's uncle. Yes, I know. Amira is a beautiful and promising girl. And beautiful, of course. He smiled and said, Well, then, both have made up their minds, so there is nothing to say. He smiled. Yes, of course, he agreed with her. Except for one important thing, Khan Sahib. She spread her charming smile. The slow heartbeat of Farooq's uncle was throbbing. What dowry will you give us? I hope you have thought about it. He stroked his beard and fell back into a comfortable position. Farooq's uncle used to tremble at his poverty. The word dowry sounds as if someone has pressed a burning iron into his wound. The pain of dowry was crushing her inside. He swallowed his pain. Abdullah Mia continued in his rich voice, As you know, Khan Sahib, dowry is in our tradition, so how can we avoid it? So, I hope you will please us and will surprise us with a dowry. If you can't arrange it, I don't think we can take our relationship any further. He said his last words. Abdullah Mia, give me some time. I will surprise you with dowry, Farooq's uncle said in a choked voice. Now we are talking. Abdullah Mia laughed softly. Khuda Hafiz Abdullah Mia, Farooq Chacha said in a low voice and smiled with a worried face. Khuda Hafiz. Khan Sahib. He smiled coquettishly and touched his long beard. To be continued in part 4. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.